2022, man.
I'm excited.
2022. You know what we should do to celebrate 2022?
What's that?
You see, this is a Hello 2022 from my cookie dealer,
Oh.
which Juan and his beautiful wife own. And this was sent to us as a gift by Stephen Harveas from Super Fitness Gym Equipment in North Carolina. Would you like to toast to the new year with this delicious cookie?
Yes.
Nice and heated up, ready? Ooh. Toast. They're the best goddamn cookies.
Damn.
I can't say anything bad about Juan. We're going to have to kiss his ass this whole video. Oh, my God.
That's a good cookie.
I left the rest of them in the kitchen, the rest of the cookie in the kitchen for my kids, but fuck those guys.
Let's go get it.
Bro, this has cookies and cream, Hershey bar. Oh, my God. Juan.
Dude, that's heaven.
Oh, my God.
That's heaven in your mouth.
It's a lot of things in my mouth. There's a lot going on. I could make a joke, but I won't. Hey! So.
I know what joke you're going to make.
So did you read that story? It was on Fitness Volt. Juan Morel.
He's coming back.
And actually, I saw it on his scene, and the dude's eating like 20 of these cookies a day, and I know why. It's so good. So he's making a comeback to the bodybuilding stage as an IFBB pro. Juan, can you do the Chicago Pro with me? I want to compete with Juan. Juan's a good friend of mine. We've done videos together. We talk all the time. Yeah. Love Juan. But I want to be honest in this video. I'm not going to just sit here and, I might because the cookie was really good. I'm not going to sit here and suck Juan off. But I'm gonna,
how badly you want to, though.
If I get free cookies, I'll do a lot of things. So here's the deal. I want to talk about Juan coming back and what I think his chances are to actually make an impact in bodybuilding. Because Juan didn't do too well in the last Olympia. I believe it was 2019. I think it was the year Brandon, no, it was the year before last year. It was the year Brandon got second. Oh. And he got like 15th, which isn't very good. But that's at the Olympia. Like placing 15th at the Olympia, like that's really good.
Yeah, you're Olympian.
You're in the Olympia, like the guy's no slouch. No. To make the Olympia, which is my ultimate goal, is, oh my God, that'd be a dream. What? And I'll start first, and I want Matt to chime in. Let's talk about where I see Juan going. One is he's 39. And if you just notice, Guy's sister Nino, he actually retired at 39. And you get older, and he just tore his quad doing a leg extension. Yeah. So as you get older, but Juan, who's known for training stupid hard. I've trained with Juan. This is a guy who does more, like I had to lower the weight every set. It was like training my wife, and I was my wife, and he was me. You know, it was like the guy's obscenely strong, trains obscenely intense, you know, just takes every set to the brink of death. Just an amazing physical specimen, just a strong dude. So he's coming back, which means that when you're in the off season, like right now, I'm not taking anything to failure because I'm not in my prep mode. Right. I'm in that time where I'm taking everything like 2 or 3 reps shy of failure, maybe right up to failure, but I'm not going in because my body is not primed for it. It's not ready, and I just got done competing. Now, Juan's had some good time off. Yeah. A lot of good cookies going into his body. So Juan is coming back probably in a lean, muscular state, where he can actually grow into the show and just kind of coast in and just drop some body fat at the end, maybe 5 to 6 weeks of actual dieting with his metabolism. A guy who I did a cheat meal with, we did a cheat day together. We ate more food at Five Guys than I think I ate in a week.
Five Guys.
Oh, it was amazing. Like we had double cheeseburgers and fries. So Juan has a disgustingly awesome metabolism, which as you know, from me, you know, is a blessing and a curse. But for him, it's going to be a curse, a blessing coming back. Yeah. And Juan, my opinion is, when you get older, your skin starts losing elasticity. It gets that old man skin where you see all the grains and striations. And one of his strengths is the fact that he gets grainy and hard. He has that really light yet dark skin, like a light skin. And in my opinion, like Phil Heath, like the lighter skinned non-white guys, is that a good term to use? I don't want to get canceled.
That is acceptable, I think.
I think so. So the lighter skinned non-white guys, they actually have an advantage where they can still get that Caucasian graininess, we call it. Yeah. The Caucasian lean, but they have the color that just looks really good. So he can get obscenely grainy. The problem is he's compared to guys like Rami, he's a little bit lanky. And his legs, although I've seen him in person, they're fucking tree trunks compared to these other guys might be a weakness. Now, where do I see Juan doing? I'll be honest. This is a guy who came in and in 2015 won the New York Pro and some international shows and placed well, I believe in 2018 when he qualified for the Olympia. He did really well. I just think he missed his mark at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And that happens. It's a chemistry project when you get to that level, right? So, and I'm not even talking about the illegal, like the drug stuff. I'm talking about just water and all the peaking and the carbs. I think Juan could be a legitimate top 8 contender at the Olympia. What do you think, Matt?
No, definitely. He's got some nice lines.
Beautiful physique. His waist.
Like as far as like symmetry is concerned, I really do appreciate Juan's body. He's like I said, he's got a good build to him.
He's a good dude. So I want to kind of parlay this, and I want you guys to start asking questions now, because we will be answering questions at the end of this video if there are none, because it's New Year's and no one's online, as you can tell. If there are questions, we will answer them. So I really think that Juan was at the 2020 Olympia. He placed really poorly, but he did not do the 2021. This is a comeback because he's 39. Like, I think it's a comeback.
Yeah.
If you take a year off and you're Olympia level, it's definitely a comeback.
Especially at 39.
39 is not comeback. That 39 is like, oh shit, he's still alive. That's when people retire. Like bodybuilders generally, that's who Dexter Jackson competed till the ripe old age of 72. People think that like when you're 39, shit is not as easy. Like he has responsibilities. His wife's him and his wife are running a multi-million-dollar cookie empire.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. You want to split this last piece?
Let's do it.
All right. Rightfully so. My cookie dealer. So, I'll take this. So, it's difficult. Where you have Brandon Curry, he's a bodybuilder. He's my business partner. But he literally goes to Kuwait for 12 to 16 weeks before a show. He's in Kuwait right now getting ready for the Arnold, right?
Yeah.
So you have this guy running a cookie business, and that's what he said is placing in 2020. That's why he didn't do too well, because he had too much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Now, for me to get ready for Masters USA, it was hard. I coach full-time youth sports. I run multiple, I would say that on paper I do more than one. I don't know what his day consists of. I have more kids, more businesses. It's hard because your body hurts and you get to the gym and your mind is full of business stuff.
Stressful.
And that's why Brandon goes to Kuwait, because he's able to focus on training and diet. All he does is eat and train, eat and train, eat and train. Whereas Juan, he's got to help his wife run this multinational business. But I do think Juan, as someone who's hung out with Juan for a couple days straight, I think he's got it. And I think he can really make an impact. So I'm going to make a prediction now. Juan will finish in the top 10. He's not going to get 15th. And if he does really well, I think he can, if God's on his side and he really dials it in, I mean, I think he might surprise people and even break the top 7.
Yeah.
And that's a surprise. I don't think that's probable. I think it's possible. Top 7 at the Olympia, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you are a G. Straight up. So this is where Matt comes into play. Matt does a lot of stuff on, like, males and being a man and masculinity and all that stuff. So what I want to know, Matt, like, you're younger than me, but I want to hear your point. Like, when is it ever too late for a man to do something like this?
No, absolutely not. I mean, like, if we're talking about, like, peaking, especially in, like, Juan's situation, in his circumstances, he's been doing it for a while. So it's not like he's coming out of the blue and doing it. Are we talking about here just coming out of the blue and doing a bodybuilding show for any particular man?
Anything. Dudes will say, I'm 50. Is it too late to get healthy? I'm 50.
Absolutely
Is it too
not.
late to lift weights? I'm 50. Is it too late to start a new career?
No.
I'm 50. Is it too late to go bungee jumping or skydiving?
There are still freaking 70-year-old men getting in the gym and building muscle in their 70s. So it's never too late. In fact, you're saving your life by getting in there and getting it done and building your body, because here's the thing is, muscle mass is the biggest indicator of lifespan boost, because it means that you're strong. Yeah, muscle is tough for your body. It's tough for your body to keep up with it. And so the more muscle that you have, the more your body is capable of supporting itself. So that's just an indicator of health. So no, getting in there's no time limit. Get in there and stay in there until the day you die. That's what I plan on doing. I've seen 90-year-old men. A buddy of mine had a 94-year-old client, and the guy was on a walker, but he'd come every day, and they would do just air squats. He'd sit on the bench and then stand back up. Just, functional movement type stuff. But whatever you got to do, whatever you can do, do it. And don't stop doing it.
80% of Americans have back pain, lower back pain to be exact. And a lot of the reason for that is there's weak core. They have a weak core.
And weak glutes.
And weak glutes and weak hamstrings. So when you go to the gym and you train your deadlifts or even your lat pull downs and you strengthen the areas around these, you do hamstrings, you do Romanian deadlifts, and you do whatever it is, you hamstring curls, you're strengthening the muscle.
Yes.
And you're also, one thing you're doing if you do load-bearing activity, I'm not talking about cardio, I'm talking about load-bearing weightlifting activity, is that stresses your bones. And that prevents bone wasting or bone degeneration that happens as we age. So in my opinion, you know what, and that's why I got kind of a little bit perturbed that nobody in the industry talked about me coming back at 41 and earning my pro card after years off for boxing. In that, what I did was not the pro card, whatever. I'm still going to live in Brentwood. It's not going to make a career for me. What I did is I showed that even if you're aging, you can still make improvements. I've made improvements on my legs, made improvements on my arms, I made improvements on everything, and I'm healthy in the process. And I think a lot of people getting older, getting in their late 30s, their early 40s, they need people to show them that, hey, it can be done.
Yeah.
Age is not an excuse, and there's nothing special about me.
So I was going to just give another example. I had a 67-year-old client, lady, super nice lady. She came to me one day and said that she was, having back pain, hip pain, and knee pain. And she said she needed a personal trainer to help her, get back in shape and whatnot. She wanted to lose 10 pounds. Well, not only did I help her lose 10 pounds, but we got her deadlifting. We got her doing squats, and she had to use the TRX bands.
Okay.
To help her do her squats, but it didn't take long until she lost her 10 pounds. But also one of the most important things that happened working with her is that her knee pain went away, her back pain went away, her hip pain went away. She didn't have to. When her family, when they would walk with each other, they'd have to stop to give her a break. Well, they didn't have to do that anymore.
Awesome.
And so that's just like it's not the fountain of youth per se, but it does help extend your health. Mm-hmm. And so it's super important just to keep those habits going on into old age. And she had never stepped foot into a gym, 67 years old, and look what it did for her. So it's amazing what can be done, and I highly encourage anyone to just get in today, no matter how old you are.
I like when people. So I was actually talking to an older man at the gym, and he was in the gym getting better, obese. I'm talking the big beer gut, but he had the headband on. He was ready to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's harder at my age. I'm like, well, let me ask you a question, sir. I said, how long has it been since you? Yeah, when I was in college. Everybody goes, oh, when I was in college. I'm like, well, let me tell you, how long has it been since you've been in the gym? He goes, oh, years. I'm like, okay. So you expect the fact that you were a stud in college and you don't use it at all for 20 years after that your body's just going to be like, okay, I feel great, let's go. No, your muscles, they either atrophy or they hypertrophy. And what happens if you don't use them, you lose them.
Yeah. Not only that, but muscle memory.
Yes.
So when I took off like 4 years from the gym. When I moved to college, I stopped lifting weights and whatnot, and took 4 years off from the gym. Well, when I started working out again, you'd be surprised at how quickly my strength and how quickly my muscle mass came back. Muscle memory is real. And so if you did stop and you're considering coming back, your body still has those motor units, the memory in those motor units to rebuild that muscle. So you have that going for you at least.
So there's two things. There's hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Hyperplasia does exist. That is the addition or division of muscle cells. So as you gain, as you hypertrophy, as your muscle grows, your muscle has that memory or that hyperplasia, those extra muscle cells, those extra units, those extra neurons from your brain to your muscle that make it where you come back and your motor patterns and all those things work together, and your elevation or your growth, both neurally and muscularly, are going to be above those who've never trained. Now, if you've never trained, even more reason to go train. It's just going to be a little bit harder for you to pick up the movements and for your body to recruit. But then you get something called newbie gains, where you can literally build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So with that said, just back to Juan. One is buy the fucking cookies. They're delicious. I don't have a coupon code. Juan doesn't know I'm doing this video. In fact, Juan might be upset that I have him 7th at best. But look, dude, that's my boy. That's my guy. And I'm going to keep it real here. Like, dude, if he beats 7th, then I'll gladly say I'm wrong. And I'll send him some outright bars so he can eat it with the cookie. He can actually put it inside the cookie and make a little cookie sandwich.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, questions. If you got them, ask them. If not, we'll just put this shit up. All right, let's go. Love you guys. We love you too. Once a legend, always a legend. I'm going to go through those. Juan Morel was at 2020 Olympia. I don't consider this a comeback. Address that. I do. He's older. And he took a year off. That's a comeback. It's a comeback. He took a year off. Just being real. Just my opinion. Marc, I heard you on Timcast. I stand with you. I just want our God-given freedoms and liberties back from these tyrannical governments.
Amen.
Yep. I agree with you, Vegas Dave. I'm 37, damn, but I still train and eat Big O and route right bars. Tony, yes, there you go. That'll keep you young. I did a boom at the beginning. I did a super boom. Look at Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson, I'm going to have to give a little heads up here. He's a freak.
He is.
Like, he's always been a freak. But, you know, it's like people go, hey, man, I like when 40-year-olds be like, man, I'm going to start training today. My goal is to get like you. I'm like, I've literally not taken a day off in 28 years. Let's set realistic goals. Like, look better than you looked last week. Look better. Like, every week, get better. You know, clean up your diet a little more every week. Make your training a little harder every week. You know, be more consistent every week, and you'll get better every week. Don't set your sights on looking like Phil Heath or looking like Brandon Curry or even looking like an idiot like me, because it's gonna suck when you don't look like if you don't reach those goals, because you won't, and that's just me being honest. When I go to the gym, I see a guy who's 67 and working out. So there's actually questions. Marc is looking shredded. I had to read that, even though it's not a question. How do you push yourself to go to failure every time at the gym? I never go to failure. Not now. Like, there's a time and a place. Like, when I'm getting ready for a show, I'll go to failure more often. But, dude, if you go to failure every set at the gym, you're not going to last. Like, you're gonna literally be sitting at your desk all day like...
Well, it depends on how long you allow yourself to recover for.
It's true, too.
If you're...
He said every day.
This is the reason... Oh, well, I mean, here's the thing, is if you're doing the bro split, you know, chest Monday, back Tuesday, legs Wednesday, whatever... if you're doing 1 day a week, training one body part 1 day a week, you got 7 days to recover for the next training session. So you can technically make that happen.
But every set?
Every set, no.
You wouldn't be able to do your sets.
It's only one set that you really need to
do. You do your feeder sets, and then the last set, you go to failure.
Yeah, not every set.
Yeah, I don't know who told you that, but, like, nobody actually does that, right? Like, let's see. Happy New Year to you, too. Best exercises for lats if you can't feel them.
I like lat pullovers, but specifically on the lat pullover machine.
I like the hammer strength. Yeah.
The rope pullovers don't tend to do it for me.
I feel it more in my abs.
Really?
Yeah, I do. My favorite lat exercises, is every back movement. They all engage your lats.
Mine also, my close second, is the neutral grip lat pull down.
Yeah.
And remember, lats is not pulling down here. Lats is pulling in front of you. Mm-hmm. So really engage your lats out in front.
Yeah, I err on the side of why choose. Just train your back complete. Do vertical and horizontal movements, and even throw in some rack lockouts or hex bar deadlifts for the isometric contraction. If you've trained lats first, and let's say you do heavy or moderately heavy rack lockouts, you will feel it in your lats. I did those on Wednesday, And I'll tell you what, it was the end of my back workout, and Dorian used to do them for his back. Just to give you a heads up. Yeah, so, I mean, I like them. I think there's a lot, but you got to work on that mind muscle. What do you think of Mike Metzer's style of training? Mike Metzer's was too extreme for me. He literally was in the gym for 10 minutes. Dorian perfected what Mike was doing.
Yeah, and what Dorian expanded on it.
Yeah, Dorian added in more feeder sets.
Yeah.
So Dorian was actually training normal. Like, he trained like every other bodybuilder, except his last set was to failure. Like, Dorian would do 4 sets of an exercise, but they'd be 3 feeder sets. He didn't just get on and do 405 on bench.
I just don't think that you're getting the maximum amount of effort out of your muscles if you just go in there and do 1 set just as much as you can, or at least go into failure with tons of reps. I think you've got to have multiple sets.
I think Dorian did it right, but Dorian was able to take that intensity to that level.
Yeah.
I don't think most people watching this, including us, can take it to Dorian's level. And I've trained with Dorian twice. So I can tell you that Dorian is different. And his training worked for him. But we don't know what Dorian would have done on a volume program. We had no control group.
Right.
We just know that what he did worked for him. But how many Mr. Olympias have won using Dorian's training style?
Also, he was a big proponent of progressive overload.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote down every single weight, every rep, and everything. Tracked his workouts, and then looked to beat the previous workout. So progressive overload was a huge factor in his.
And I think that's the main factor in growth for most people. You know, at least beginners and newbies and intermediates. Let's see. When you had the C word, did you take any special medication or vitamins? How fast do you recover? Now, for me, I didn't know I had it. I thought I just had a really tough leg day. So I went and on Friday I trained legs with Courtney, okay? And we did high reps, which you never do. I'm talking 20 plus reps. And we got sore. So on Saturday I went to a baby shower, and everybody at the baby shower got the C word. So anyway, so on Sunday, I wake up and my legs are sore. Like, my body feels just sore. Like the first time you ever trained sore. And so I was like, I called Courtney and I'm like, hey, Courtney, are you really sore? Like, abnormally sore? He goes, yeah, man, epic leg day, bro. You know, bro shit. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, cool, you know, I probably just need to recover more. So I went down to the what do you call it? Where you get the transfusions and shit.
IV?
I went to get the IV drip, the drip therapy. So I got double glutathione, vitamin C, and trace elements. And 2 hours later, I was 100%. And then I found out later I had it because on Tuesday, the host was like, hey, by the way, my husband gave everybody the C word. If you start feeling sick, you might want to isolate. By that time, I'd already been out and about.
Did you lose taste or smell or anything?
I did not lose anything. I just got sore. I wish I lost taste because my wife can't cook worth a shit.
Don't tell her that.
Nah, she knows. We've been together 25 years. It's not that dumb. So I would have, if I would have known what it was, I would have immediately. I have it in my house. I would have immediately started the horse dewormer.
Yeah.
Because I have it here, and I'm trying to use code words.
I've got it too.
And I would immediately get a drip. So I did one of 2. And that would cure, because I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm in shape. Yeah, but for me, it's a nothing burger, and especially with this new Decepticon version of it, that's literally a cold where the main symptom is a runny nose. I'd probably just take the horse dewormer, just for shits and giggles because I have it. But honestly, I'm not fearful of this thing. I've had it. I've had the Alpha one, and I've had I think it was the Delta one. Was it the second one, the Delta? And both of them did absolutely nothing to me because I'm healthy. And I take Ambrosia Vita, I take Nectar, I take Immortal. I'm a health freak. Like, this guy's seen my suitcase is half pills. So if anybody's going to get over it fast, it's me. What about you, Matt?
I had it this summer. It did keep me out of the gym for a few days, but it was more of just like and here's the thing is I couldn't tell the difference between it and just a regular upper respiratory infection, which I used to get as, you know, growing up. I'd get an upper respiratory infection a lot. That was the main sickness I always got, and so it's always just put me out of the gym just for a few days. But that was it. I mean, I literally just sat there, chilled, got a lot of work done, and gave my body kind of a break anyway, which it needed. I needed to have like a deload week or a week off anyway. And so, I think I was only out of the gym for like 4 days, 4 days.
So my main advice is don't take it lightly, like I did. I didn't take it lightly. It was so weak. I had no idea I had it, or else I probably would have at least called somebody and, been like, hey, what should I do? Do you have any of that monoclonal stuff? But instead it was so weak that all I did was I thought I had a bad leg day. I took some overtraining solution, doubled up my vitamin C, my Vita, all that stuff. And I was fine. But if you feel the least bit sick, take a break till you feel better. And if it starts progressing and you think you have it, see a doctor.
Yeah.
That's it. I always have to say, see a doctor. This is what I did. And it might be right. It might not be right. But you see your doctor. Don't listen to a stupid doctor on TV like Dr.
Oz.
Or Dr. F. Or Dr. Jill Biden. Anyway, next question. Enough of the C word. Okay. But if I don't go to failure, I feel like I haven't done enough. So I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, bro. Do what you do. You do you. Also, is it okay to do around 5 sets for every exercise? How many exercises? What's your training experience? We don't know. See, we can't answer this because we don't know enough about you or your program.
Progressive overload, man. Track your workouts. Do more than what you did the last time, and I guarantee you, eventually, your workouts start to get harder.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Who inspired you to start bodybuilding, Matt?
Well, I got into bodybuilding kind of on a fluke, really. Weightlifting or lifting weights, getting back into the gym kind of helped me turn my life around, and I just fell in love with it. And I got into powerlifting first, but then, I'd always had in the back of my mind, I wanted to go do a bodybuilding show. And so, of course, I looked up to some of, like, I guess,
Justin
Flex Wheeler type, Arnold, of course, being, just a newbie for me, Arnold, and didn't really get inspired by anybody, but
Backstreet Boys,
maybe more like local people and whatnot.
Sync.
Yeah, those types of people that
New Kids on the Block,
that bodybuild. And but yeah, so it was really kind of just on a fluke, and I got into it and got more involved and just fell in love with it. So, but what about you?
I saw a cover of Flex magazine at my local 7-Eleven when I was in high school at 13 years old with Dorian Yates on the cover, and I saw hamstring veins and graininess. And I knew that my job was football. I said, dude, as soon as I'm done with football, I want my legs to look like that.
Yeah.
And it was Dorian. But long term, I think the physique, and Dorian's my favorite bodybuilder because he's the reason I fell in love with the sport. I told him this to his face in the UK once. He's like, okay, mate, it's awkward, I'm like, but I think my favorite bodybuilding physique of all time, just to go on an ADHD tangent. If I'm to pick my favorite physique, the most flawless physique, and I think it's two of them. I think there's two that I really gravitate towards. One is I loved Lavroni's look when he was at his peak.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved everything about his physique. I loved Sean Ray's physique. Fucking enamored with that look. And I think he had the most balanced physique of all time. Flex Wheeler, it would have been, but after I found out how much oil he used, I kind of lost my lust for it.
Yeah.
My lust is that the right word? Whatever. Modern day, Phil Heath.
Samir Banu was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I think
Samir had a great look. I thought.
Yeah, fantastic. Phil Heath and Brandon Curry in modern day. Brandon happens to be one of my best friends, and Phil too. Like these are two of my best friends, but their physiques, they almost give me goosebumps when I see them because they're so gorgeous and how they flow. And if you look at the art form of bodybuilding, Rami, I respect him as a bodybuilder. His physique to me is just garbage. I don't like it.
To me,
I don't like it. He's like, for example, the guy who was phenomenal on stage at the Masters USA, the super heavy I beat.
Yeah.
That guy looked fucking amazing, but not my cup of tea.
No.
Not my cup of tea. But I could see where someone would see us next to each other and be like, the big guy wins. And they don't see the taper and the posing and the fluidity and the presentation. For me, bodybuilding is an art. Yeah. So I gotta bring up Frank Zane. What a gorgeous physique. His posing was so flawless.
Lee Labrada had some great
Labrada was good, but his head was too big for his body. Got to get some mental jewels, Marc. I'll read that because I like selling stuff. Can rear delts be done on push day or do you have to go on pull day? I don't think that one matters.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Nah,
I mean, put them
I
whatever
switch
day.
it. I switch it.
You are going to get a little bit of rear delt on pull day.
And yeah. How is Tim Pool on camera versus off camera? Look, man, like, he's good. He's good people. Everybody there from Lydia to Luke, good fucking people. Good people. So all I can say, like, Tim, like, they brought me in. So Lydia picked me up from the hotel room. I did everything. I went to the gym, got food, and she picked me up, and it was like we knew each other for 10 years.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, just friendly person. Came in. Tim comes out. He's about to go skate. He's like, "What's up, man? Nice to meet you. We're about to go skate. Want to join us?" I'm like, "I'll watch." And we just hung out like we'd known each other for years. I can't say enough good things about them, man. They're real ass dudes. Real ass dudes. And chicks. Best back, Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates? Ronnie. Not even close. Ronnie had the best back in bodybuilding history.
Ronnie's
Lights out, rear, lat, spread. Weight is always stress on the body, but it's nice to lift a quarter of your weight with one hand with a bunch of times. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Thank you guys for detailed answer. Happy New Year's. You too, Jimmy.
Happy New Year.
Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, we'll be back in Arizona this year.
Love it there.
Yeah. Met Samir at the 1988 NPC USA. Well, you're old like me. Hi from Jerusalem. Shalom, my man. That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. France up in the house. We like fries. We ate fries yesterday.
Love France.
Fries. And toast. Anyway, guys, that's all. Hey, we're going to have another video in a couple hours. What is our video going to be? I want to do a video about why the Masters pros get no respect and why I agree with them getting no respect, although I turned pro as a Masters, and how I am going to change it. That's going to be fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's going to be fun because we're going to go in and we're going to offend a lot of people. We're going to offend people of all colors, all ethnicities, and all religions at one time. We're going to offend genders. We're going to offend he, hims, her, theirs, they, thems. We're going to offend everybody. Nobody cares about old people. I agree. You know, what was it? There was a song. It was a parody song in the 80s that actually played in the 90s that played on K-Rock in LA called Eat All the Old People. And it was so bad because it was before political correctness came aboard.
Yeah.
And it was talking about putting old people in the oven. And I'm a Jew. And I'm like, I don't know if that's right. Like, that's literally what they did. But anyway, there's a good grift going on right now on Twitter. I'm arguing with people about how Holocaust museums are Nazis. And fuck the Tide. The Bearcats will, I don't fucking care. My partner was at the Bearcats game yesterday because he actually played outside linebacker for University of Cincinnati. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm at the game. My parents are present to them. And what's funny is that Chad, I'm like, yeah, Matt's here. He's an Alabama guy. And Chad just goes, tell Matt to fuck off. And so Katie tells him to fuck off. And then I come in here. I'm like, hey, Matt. He's like, what? Fuck off. Anyway, guys, Happy New Year. Follow Matt at
Matt_S_Stevens with a PH.
Yep, Matt_S_Stevens with a PH. Follow me at Marc Lobliner 5. Any further questions? I want you to follow this guy on Instagram and Twitter. The name we just saw, I'm going to link it down below in the description. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram. Those are his two main platforms. And of course, if you don't already follow me on the other platforms, I post a lot of shit here that I post there, but there is a lot of unique content, especially my Instagram stories and all that. Hey guys, love you. And this year, my New Year's resolution is not to go off on people. It's to be passive aggressive and offer everybody help with their diet, especially if they're fat. It's going to be awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much. We'll see you in a couple hours.